over subsidy removal and electricity tariff. It was agreed there that 1 million meters will be supplied free of charge to Nigerians with a condition that to be increased. Which I can tell you, not a quarter of that 1 million meters, they call it metering project, was delivered to Nigerians. That even some of us had to pay money to see if the meters will arrive as transport to the AEDC officials to see if they can deliver these meters for free, but the meters never came, Michi, and that is gone into thin air. With the proposal for a new tariff hike, I must tell you, I said it last week, apologies to the government functionaries. Some of us believe that if they are making a proposal, they've already concluded on that plan. Some person sent me how much he used to buy 2,000 naira unit, and how many units he used to get, and how many units.
Today is 26.
Yes.
So we have barely 5 days before it comes into effect.
4 days.
4 days.
A 30-day month around June. So, and he said that his money is already being deducted already from the bills that he pays for 2,000 naira unit electricity tariff. I mentioned the complaints won't be there if the power is available. But they've given categories of the tariff, that if you are on band A or band B, band C, band D, you have different tariff. So those on band D and C and D, I think it's 100 naira per unit. And those on A, B that have 16 hours of electricity is, of midnight electricity, not during the day, is about 150 or thereabout. So yes, elsewhere around the world, electricity is very expensive, but they have it in full supply, 24/7. Do we have that? That's one. On the issue of fuel subsidy removal, there are twin crises now that Nigerians are faced with. The electricity tariff and the hike in petroleum. Somebody just told me the petrol that is 537 is no longer going to be 5, is about 600 or something now. But the missing link is that the government people are not communicating with Nigerians. Communication is power. So how long will this suffering last? That is what other people in order, go ask Nigerians that have japa abroad, they'll tell you that they'll announce over the radio, over the TV that, sorry, we are removing this subsidy, we are doing this, in the next 2-3 weeks, we'll come back to normal. Nothing of such is being told to us. The vehicles, the mass transit that are being promised, nothing is of such is being told to us. We are left to wallow in pain. I mean, do you know how much people without vehicle pay for transportation? And some persons fuel their vehicle 40,000 naira every week. Every week, 40,000 naira. They are coming to an office where their salary is about 100,000 naira. So
per month.
Then you are proposing.
They're already pushed into poverty.
So I told Shola, when we were discussing with Shola on Friday, we said with this measure, if the proposal for 114% increment in political office holders is pushed to is actualized, which means the middle class has disappeared. You only have the up there and the bottom.
The thing is that the problem, from my experience with policymakers in Nigeria, is that they assume they are the country. Once the thing is not affecting them directly, they think they can push it through. And I've accused them directly of not thinking about the weak, the vulnerable, the downtrodden. And these are the people that government is meant for. These are people that government should cater for. Before the removal of fuel subsidy, did anybody do any research to look at the impact on this category of citizens I've named, and what we could do to ameliorate the hardship? Nobody did it. Now, this electricity tariff, 40% increase that will come. Has anybody done a research? How will it
impact on the people?
Impact on the people. Nobody has done it. With all of us here, we can conveniently afford to manage, just like the fuel price increase. We are managing. But what of those citizens who are poor? They say 133 million Nigerians are talking about multidimensional poor. Those around Tinubu should tell him the truth. Already, some of the advisors are saying Nigerians are better off now. This is not the time to be quoting well. This is the time to tell the president the truth. The president in 2012 issued a statement when Jonathan removed fuel subsidy and increased the price of petrol. He said he outlined a number of measures Jonathan should have taken before removing the subsidy. He has not done any. This president has not done any. All you need to do is to take that press statement he issued and give to him and say, Mr. President, what happened? Did you practice what you preach? Now you're in the saddle. Those around the president must tell him the truth that these policies are hitting hard on the people, as good as they are, and they need to be quick in coming out with measures that will cushion the effect.
When Buhari was leaving the country, he told the government, sorry, he told everybody that he left Nigeria better than he met. That was very embarrassing. That was very inaccurate. That was not very true. Every Nigerian knew how much a bag of rice and a mudu of rice was. Every Nigerian knew how much was a bag of cement, how much will 16 mm iron rod, 12 mm, 22 mm would cost, for building. We knew how much was a liter of fuel, diesel, kerosene when he came to power. We knew embarrassingly how difficult life was when he left the country. We will not say that, we will not accuse the people around him. Doesn't he have relations? Doesn't he have friends he relates with? The same thing with the president, the new president. I believe Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a politician is more of a grassroots Nigerian than Muhammad Buhari, who has always lived in isolation. Tinubu, we know, even after he left the governorship, he had access for people. Being a national political leader, he was still a grassroots man. He doesn't need his aides to tell him how much Nigerians are suffering. You are talking about 75 to 80% of Nigerians in the rural area. What has the state government and local government been doing to even help them? They don't. Then suddenly this almighty policy of subsidy removal from both energy and fuel will come from federal government. Are we strangulating fellow citizens?
I mean, when they came up with the $800 million palliative, some Nigerians were celebrating that, oh yes, they are going to cushion the effect. And when they came up with 40% peculiar allowance increase for the section of the civil servants, senior civil servants to be specific, some people say, oh, this government is working, so they are preparing Nigerians. But the chunk of Nigerians, or the mass of Nigerians, are in the informal sector. What provisions do you have for them? The organizer, the tailor, even the bus transport, self-employed bus transport. You take a commercial taxi now, Amechi, where you used to pay 500 naira, you are paying about 2,000 naira, 2,500. And how much of your income has increased? How much of your salary has increased? Now, in elsewhere, we keep referring elsewhere because we are learning. We call those people there developed, and we call ourselves developing. And if you are trailing somebody, following somebody's footsteps, somebody is a mentor or a motivator, you follow rightly, you match the footsteps rightly. Now, what palliative have you put in place? In elsewhere, they'll say, okay, since this is happening, your paper renewal for vehicle for 1 year or 2 years is cancelled. Your renewal of a driver's license is cancelled if you're a driver. Then as a transporter, they'll ask you to buy a ticket for 1 month for a reduced amount, so that when you enter any taxi, that money is not paid. So what measures are there? These people
That's
travel.
the question.
Yeah, they travel around the world. Tinubu is in France now.
In London.
He has moved to London.
Yes.
Okay, when I was leaving France, that's when he came into France. Look at the measures there. They have palliative, no matter how you look at it. I don't know if our leaders really learn from what they get abroad.
You mentioned what are they putting in place. For instance, as I said earlier, the way our policymakers go about making public policies, the way it affects them, not the generality of Nigerians. Even at the state level, you see in some states, they say a ban